We're going to do a shorter process this time, but we are going to do a form called the Alchemy of Self. Okay? Some of you may have done this with me before. I'm not sure. Let's just go ahead. We've been sitting for a while. Take a moment, shake it out. We're already in a sacred space. So we're already knowing that we have all the directions and all the elements and everything we need fully present to support us. And we are going to practice a beautiful form called the Alchemy of Self, which is a beautiful self-mastery and form, and you'll discover it as we go. Go ahead and turn from side to side, opening up your spine, feeling your feet rooted in the earth. And as you turn from side to side, you're opening your spine, you're opening your body, and you're creating a practice of bringing yourself here, present. And you're cultivating a practice of getting in touch with and familiar with your body and with Qi and with transformation. We're in a powerful process of transformation tonight, and we are rooted in our power. And when we breathe in through our nose and in this beginning, exhaling through your mouth, creates a little space to release any pent-up emotion or anything that came to surface in this session. I anticipate that this session brings a lot to the surface. That's why we didn't start here. And that's why I keep bringing you back to your place of power, so that you have all the resources you need to go here. Now, slowly letting this movement settle down, come to stillness. Letting this movement come all the way down to stillness. With your breath, sensing and feeling how your physical body is still, and yet your energy body is still moving. And we are going to practice this alchemy of self, and it's with all new forms. We start with a humble bow, emptying our cup with a beginner's mind. No one is going to get all of this right the first time. No one's going to get it all the way wrong either. So we just let go of the how and let this form teach us. Feeling your feet on the ground, gently rising up with your breath, unfurling your spine, and stepping out. As with all the forms, all of you have practiced with me before. In the beginning, I'll give you a lot of detail. By the end, it'll be in silence. The alchemy of self is a beautiful form. So go ahead and bring your hands in front of your body. One hand is faced down in front of your dantian, and the other hand is faced on top. I'm going to come closer just so you can see. This is my starting position. We're going to return to this position over and over. But I need to be back here so you can see the tops of my hands. Okay, so at first, let's just anchor into the details of the movement, and then the movement will just take over. So this hand that's facing down is an anchor hand. It pushes down. While it doesn't technically move, but it has the energy of connecting with the earth. This top hand pulls up, lifts up. So there starts to be a separation between the two hands. You can feel this separation. And as your hands separate, bring this top hand up, you spine wave up, you lift your spine a little bit, and now bring your hand to your mouth, to the front, like the level of your mouth, and now turn your hand over and press up. So one hand is pressing toward the floor, the other hand is pressing toward the ceiling. You're pressing as hard, as far as you can go. You're reaching. This is as far as you can, pressing. Now, point your fingers and turning from your waist, lower your hand and turn and look behind you. And let your hand lower to the horizon line. And then as you return back to center, you turn your waist back to center, your hand is like scooping across the horizon line. It scoops across the horizon line, across all the way to the opposite corner of the room, and then gently sweeps back to your heart and then lowers. Now that hand that swept across your body is pressing toward the ground, and then the other hand is on top. Right? So we're going to do the same thing, and then I'll start to lead you on a journey. Let's just do it one more time on both sides. So the base hand presses to the ground, the top hand rises up toward your mouth. At your mouth, it turns and now presses toward the ceiling. You're reaching as far as you can. Now point your fingers, turning at your waist, turn and look behind you. Let your hand lower to the horizon line, and then sweep your hand across the horizon line as your waist returns to center. Let your hand sweep all the way to the opposite corner, and then gently wave back to your heart and lower down. So that's the structure of the form. All right, here we go. Now we're going to start to do the form and tell a story. Here we go. Here you are, rooted in your power, calling forth your power, taking a nice deep breath, rising up. And as you rise up, you have a cup in your hand. Remember that chalice that you held, that your ancestors gave you, that your mothers gave you, that you're holding now? That chalice that you're going to one day give to someone else? Take a nice drink of that chalice. Drink, drink, drink until it's empty. And when it's empty, press up. You're pressing the ceiling. You have pressed as far as you can. You have grown as big as you can in this moment. But you have just drank the elixir of life. You have just drank your truth, your own truth. And so now, look, you can point your finger and you can pierce through what the illusion was as far as you can go. Now you're piercing through the veil. And with your breath turning to the side, your fingers slice through the veil behind you. And as your hand sweeps across the horizon, your eyes are open and you see the power that you possess, that passes through you. You see that you are standing in love and compassion and in wisdom, and you see that you are able to bring it into your heart and bring it into your alignment, and you are able to rise in that, grounded in the deeper, wider truth of who you are. Here we go. Boom, taking a nice deep breath, pressing, separating the illusion. Drink from your own chalice, from your own medicine well, from your own truth, and press. Reach as far as you go until you're ready to pierce the veil. Pierce the veil. You're breaking through and finding. You're breaking through, and now as your hand sweeps across, you're finding those patterns. Those old patterns that you've been in, and you're identifying your old patterns, and you're being aware of them, and you're sweeping your hand across the room, across these old patterns, and then bringing the awareness, the acknowledgement of it into the center of your body and pressing down and rising up, recognizing those patterns exist. Here we go. Start again. Press. Rise up and drink from your own medicine well. from your own chalice and press. There's, you're recognizing that limiting belief and those old patterns, and now you're peeling away and opening up the veil so you can see where you've been stuck. And as you sweep your hand across, you're acknowledging and taking responsibility for all the ways that you have co-created this experience. With love and compassion, remember, you're rooted in your power, and yet you realize you are also a co-creator of this experience, and you acknowledge that and take full responsibility for that, and you bring it down to the center of your body and stand up. Boom. Again, rooted in your power, yet you rise up and drink from the chalice, from your cauldron as an alchemical being, and you press and reach as far as you can until you're ready to break through, to become free of the illusion of where you've been stuck. And as you sweep your hand across, you go into that place just for a moment longer in that old story of I am, to really know what that old story is. Not to stay stuck there, but to acknowledge it and to really identify that old story of I am. Others are. Ooh, really feeling that, and sweeping that around, across, and then down through your heart, down through your central channel. Right, here we go. Ready, taking a nice deep breath, rising up, drinking from the chalice, and pressing and revealing, boom, and opening up. You are now opening this veil, removing all the obstacles, shedding light, and you are now cultivating an empowered relationship with yourself. You are now being able to feel that wounded self, that smaller self, that stuck self in your body, and you're able to extend your wisdom and your empathy around her as you sweep your hands across the room, across your life, and as it comes to your heart, you press it down and you rise. Now, inhaling, drinking, reaching as far as you can until you're ready to pierce the veil. Piercing the veil, removing all illusions and all separations between that younger self and that wiser self. And you've cultivated a relationship. And so now, as your hand sweeps across the room, you ask yourself, what are you feeling? I see that you are feeling. What do you need? I see that you are needing. And simply witness with love and empathy and respect, and integrate and listen with your heart and body and press down and rise up. Now you're ready. You're ready now to drink from the chalice of your foremothers, mothers. And you reach, and then you pierce the veil. You're going even further now, piercing the veil, removing every and all illusion. And as your hand sweeps around, your hand sweeps across and ignites and discovers and uncovers the new story. It activates the new truth, the real truth of who you are, beyond the false identity of who you are. And so you can become in alignment with a new I am statement as your hand connects to your heart. As you say, I am, and you rise up with your power statement. I am a beautiful, loving, spiritual woman. Boom. Beautiful. Boom. Drink from the chalice. Standing in your power statement, standing and pressing as far as you can, and then piercing the veil, removing the obstacle, going through that underlying limiting thing, and now you're beyond it, and you realize that those parts of yourself that have been stuck, they may have lacked some skills, and they need some new skills. And so as your hand sweeps across the room, you start to ask yourself, what are the new skills? What are the new capacities that I need in my life so that I can show up in alignment with this deeper truth? As your hand sweeps across the room and returns back to your heart as you rise up. Let's do this in silence. Let's do this in silence on each side. Inhaling. I don't hear any of the music, so rising up. We're getting really close to ending our session, but let's just do this one more time to really embody this experience. Gorgeous. Bringing your hands up, and really drawing that, remember that golden sunlight, the dawn, fresh light. Let that golden sunlight filter down with that higher perspective. Let this extraordinary awareness and this wisdom and this power and this understanding and empathy and grace and this willingness to listen to what you need and what you feel, and willingness to acknowledge where you've been up until now. Let that filter down through your body. One more time, reaching up, letting your hands float down, telling yourself anything you need for this to feel complete, for you to feel centered and in your body, letting this energy pour all the way through you, all the way through you. Bringing your hands to your dantian, inhaling into your deeper, wider center, into your elixir field, the field that you wake up and run across in the morning, or the field, this center in your being that is so generative and generous. She simultaneously wants love and adoration, and she wants to be respected. So bringing your attention and love here. Beautiful. Right hand makes a fist. You're in your power. Left hand covers it. You're simultaneously wise and large and strong, and you're also soft and tender and weak. And we're going and leaning toward those stuck places, that place in your body that's not rational, right? We're bringing her to our heart, the wholeness of both of you, into your own heart, and then bowing forward, bowing forward, and bringing it back to your body and stepping out. And as we step out, we're acknowledging our teachers.